Whoa, I almost lost my mic here. I just need to reposition. Just bear with me here, India. I apologize. Hello, how are you? Welcome to Movie Community College. I am the professor. And I got a video here from Wyon News. Bumbling idiot today. Oh, somebody just said not just today, Professor. You're bumbling idiot all the time. Let's go ahead. Chinese choppers are being spotted by the border. That's not good. Let's take a look at this.
China has done it again. Last night we told you about the clashes between Chinese and Indian troops in Sikkim. Now the People's Liberation Army is sending its choppers to Ladakh. This happened close to the line of actual control in Ladakh. Chinese military choppers were spotted near it. They did not cross the line, and that's something that we must underline. They did not cross over to the Indian side. The Indian Air Force rushed its fighter jets for patrolling. Here's another thing that we must note. Such incidents are not new. The India-China border dispute is an old one. The two countries share a 3,500-kilometer long line of actual control, LAC. It has been the de facto border for many years now. The Chinese military needles India on and off. But this latest episode is making headlines because of the timing. At a time when India is fighting the virus from China, why did Beijing send its choppers so close to the line of actual control? What is the message that they are trying to send? Beijing's behavior fits into a pattern. It is pushing its territorial claims at a time when the world is caught up in a pandemic. And it is using every tool available to display its aggression. It is claiming islands in the South China Sea. It is sending its military to intimidate rivals. It is deploying its media to spread lies. Two stories on Chinese websites caught our eye. The first article was about Kyrgyzstan. Tuotiao.com is the name of the website. They ran this story. It's a Chinese content platform with a readership of more than 750 million, or so they claim. 750 million people access this website. The piece was titled, "Why Didn't Kyrgyzstan Return to China After Gaining Independence?" Now, where did this even come from? The write-up says that during the Genghis Khan dynasty, Kyrgyzstan was part of Chinese lands, but it was taken away by the Russians. Sounds crazy? China's list of medieval claims does not end there. The Chinese even see Kazakhstan as their own. Sohu.com, another Chinese website, published a piece that said Kazakhstan is located on territories that historically belonged to China. The claim has angered Kazakhstan. Last month, they summoned the Chinese envoy to protest. Now, if you're wondering why nondescript Chinese websites should be taken so seriously, I would like to remind you that the press in China is a tool in the hands of the government. This is how the lies and the propaganda begin, from smaller platforms to bigger, more recognized ones. Let me give you an example. Just last week, China's state broadcaster CGTN posted this. It's on your screen. It calls the Mount Everest a part of China. Sure enough, there was a mountain of protest. So much so that CGTN had to delete the tweet. The new post said Everest is located on the China-Nepal border. Like a bully, China feeds off fear. And now there are countries standing up to it. Australia is a shining example. It is fighting China on the world stage, calling for an investigation into the origin of the coronavirus. Guess how China responded? By suspending beef imports from Australia. This is something that the Chinese ambassador had threatened to do, and now Beijing is walking the talk. Australia is a major exporter of beef. Demand from China surged in 2019. Australian beef exports to China are valued at almost $2 billion. You see what they're trying to do? Cutting off $2 billion. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison said that he would demand a global investigation at the World Health Assembly later this month. Australia and China traded barbs after that. Threats were issued. There was considerable saber rattling. But when China cancelled the import orders, they gave a totally different reason for the decision. China cited technical errors and complaints that were more than a year old.
We were advised overnight through the Department of Agriculture that 4 Australian meat processors had their licences suspended in relation to exports to China. The reason given for this suspension relates to instances dating back over more than a year of minor technical errors in relation to labelling or other technical requirements during this time.
The demand for an investigation has clearly ruined the trade relationship between Australia and China. When asked if this import ban was a diplomatic retaliation, China had this to say.
China has been committed to developing friendly and cooperative relations with other countries on the basis of mutual respect and equal treatment. I suggest you carefully read the full text of the interview of Chinese ambassador to Australia. What he said was about the concerns that the Australian side's erroneous words and deeds have upset the Chinese people and that they may impact bilateral relations. Is there any problem with that? How could this have anything to do with economic coercion?
Mutual respect, equal treatment, not economic coercion, says China. The words sound hollow. Australia is not backing down from the investigation demand. Its neighbour New Zealand is also pushing back. New Zealand supports Taiwan's participation at the World Health Organization. China has slammed it. But New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says that she will still back Taiwan. Her foreign minister says it is time to stand up to China.
We have got to stand up for ourselves. And, true friendship is based on equality. It's based on the ability to, in this friendship, nevertheless disagree. All we are saying is, and having looked very carefully around the world, to find examples of how we might help internationally and locally our defeat of COVID-19, Taiwan has been a standout society.
Other countries should take a cue. It's time to call out China's military aggression and predatory actions for what they are.
Very, very good video, very informative. Boy, oh boy, I just don't think this is going away at all. I think, when you look at what they're doing, that being China, and how they're going about their business, I like what she said, that how they're kind of like a bully. We're not going to do things our way, then we're not going to do business with you, or we're going to suspend this or suspend that, which is unfortunate. A lot of people ask me, I get a lot of emails saying, Professor, when's America going to do something about it? What I will tell you is America is investigating. America is investigating. They are looking into it. Matter of fact, the FBI just arrested 2 Chinese spies in America who are trying to figure out, what are we doing with coronavirus? How are we stopping it? Which tells me that China really has no idea how to stop it or what they're doing with it, how they contain it. I think that this is all going to be something that's going to be with us for a long time. I think it's going to be like the flu, where every year, it's flu season / COVID season. And you're just going to have to kind of deal with it as best you can. So it was a good video. Good video. I enjoy Wyong. They're becoming my news of choice. I think they do a good job of reporting the news. And I don't think China should be feared. India does not have a reputation for being an aggressive nation. When you think of India, you think of Hindus, pacifism, gentleness. We only use violence in response to violence, kind of thing, right? I think that's pretty much what everybody thinks. But every time there's a border problem, and India responds with military showing, China backs down. I think China's afraid of India, quite honestly. I really do. I think they're afraid of India, and I think they shouldn't be feared like they are. They're a blowhard. I remember when I was a kid, there was a bully who just kind of picked on everybody, and everybody was a little afraid of him because he was bigger than most kids. But what I found out is he couldn't fight. So if you punched him in the mouth, there wasn't a whole lot he could do about it except cry. And I think that's what you would see with China in any kind of real conflict. they really can't do anything. They think they're probably really good against unarmed civilians, but like somebody like who shoots back, probably not so good. So, great video. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace and much love. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and please check out our internet radio station, darkskyradio.com. Again, that's darkskyradio.com. We got great talk shows. We play some music. You will be thoroughly entertained. Peace and much love.